This is a demonstration of the DT5 mobile data terminal with integrated taximeter from Triad Transtech. In this video, we'll be guiding you through the typical operation of the taximeter portion of the DT5. When you start the vehicle, the DT5 will automatically start up. This process will take approximately 1 minute. Once the DT5 is fully powered on and ready for use, you will see the driver login screen on the left and the taximeter along with the current time on the right. Because the DT5 is an internet-connected device, it utilizes local cellular providers to gain access to the internet for operations such as e-hailing, dispatch, transmitting meter totals, and more. On the lower left-hand corner of the screen is the cell signal status icon. Let me point out that cell phone reception will not affect your ability to operate the taximeter. To the right of this indicator is the GPS status icon. When the GPS is working, this icon will be green. Otherwise, it will display gray. These status indicators are continuously displayed. Now let's begin our shift. We'll start by entering our TA number on the login screen using the touchscreen and press OK. The system will pause for a moment while logging you in. Once logged in, you'll see your name, TA number, and vehicle number displayed at the top of the DT5 along with the taximeter's current readings. The meter totals displayed should match the start readings pre-printed on your trip sheet. If they don't, you may either return to your ship supervisor to reprint your trip sheet as the meter totals were just electronically transmitted to Cab Manager when you logged in, or you may print the correct current readings by pressing the print button displayed on the screen below and attach the receipt to your trip sheet, which will have the current date and time printed on it. Otherwise, we can now press OK and get out on the road. Whenever the taximeter is in the vacant state, the main driver menu will be displayed. We'll explain these menu options later on. Most taximeter operations will be handled with the function buttons you see on the left and right sides of the DT5. We can view a legend of what these buttons do by touching the help icon on the main driver menu. The F1 button on the top left is used to change the state of the taximeter from vacant to hired to time off and back to vacant. While the meter is hired, the F4 button at the top right will add the $2 airport extra. If we time off the meter and wish to return back to a hired state, the DT5 will display a message on the screen to hold the F3 button down for a few moments to return to a hired state and continue the same trip. While in time off, you can also press the F5 key to cycle between the grand total, subtotal and tax, and fare and extra breakdowns. Let's press OK and start our first trip. To hire the meter, we'll press the F1 button and the meter state will change from vacant to hired at the top of the taximeter screen. At the same time, you should hear the Verifone passenger terminal greet the passenger.
This taxi offers a solution for visually impaired passengers. Please tap the center of the screen 3 times to receive audio announcements about your ride today.
The current fare is displayed on the right in yellow and any extras will be displayed underneath in white. When the fare is being calculated based on wait time, the word wait is displayed here along with the amount of time charged prefaced by a W. When the vehicle is moving, wait will change to move, indicating that the fare is now being calculated based on distance. The total distance of the ride is displayed here, prefaced with a D. Let's add an extra by pressing the F4 key. The $2 airport extra is now displayed in white below the fare. You'll also notice that when we initially hired the taximeter, the passenger count defaults to a single passenger. Should we have loaded more than one passenger, touch the passenger icon once, then select the total number of passengers we loaded. For this ride, let's assume we have 2 passengers. This trip is now set to 2 passengers. When the trip has ended, press the F1 button to place the taximeter in time off. At this time, the Verifone passenger terminal will prompt the customer to pay either by cash or credit card. Before we pay, let's take a look at an example of resuming this trip. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen, we can press and hold the F3 button to resume this ride. When we do this, the taximeter will resume this trip and the meter returns to a hired state. Now we'll press F1 to stop this trip and complete the payment transaction with the passenger.
Please select payment method.
If the passenger taps Pay with Cash, an announcement will be played both on the taximeter and the Verifone rear screen, along with a prompt for us to indicate whether payment was tendered. If we select yes, the taximeter will return to a vacant state and the trip will be ended. Make sure you have received the cash payment before selecting yes, as the passenger will no longer have the option to pay by credit card once yes has been selected. Let's run another trip, only this time we'll pay with a credit card. I'll press F1 to higher the meter, then again to stop the meter, and prompt the passenger with payment options. This time we'll choose Pay with Card. The passenger can either select a tip amount from the screen or a custom tip at this time. We'll tap Next and swipe our credit card.
Card declined.
In the event the charge is declined, a card declined announcement will be played both on the DT5 and the Verifone rear screen, along with a message displayed on the DT5 in the front. If the charge is approved, a card approved announcement will be played.
Thank you. The charge has been approved.
And the DT5 will display the tip amount and total charge for the ride, and the taximeter will automatically change back to a vacant state. Now let's talk a little bit about the main driver menu. The options provided are Print Last Ride, in the event that you need to print another copy of a passenger receipt, Readings, to view our current meter readings, Break, End Shift, Dispatch, Messages, and Help. When it's time for us to take a break, from the main driver screen, we'll touch the break button and select Yes to confirm that we're taking our break. The time our break started will be displayed along with the total time we've been on break. Should we power off the car for more than 15 minutes, the DT5 will shut down, but remember that we are still on a break and continue to keep track of the break time. When we power the car back on, to resume our shift, we'll touch the Resume button, which will end our break, and we're ready to take the next ride. If your DT5 is integrated with a dispatch or eHail system, there may be some circumstances where you'll need to opt out of dispatch for a period of time. For example, when you're in or about to enter a cab stand, press the dispatch button. After a short period, the dispatch button will change from green and on to red and off. This indicates you are now temporarily unavailable for eHails. When you wish to resume receiving eHails, press the dispatch button again, and after a short period, when it changes to green and on, you're now ready to receive these rides again. At any time during your shift, you may receive important messages from the office or dispatch. Whenever your DT5 is in a vacant state, the message will pop up on your screen, along with the following sound. Press OK to clear the message. While in a hired or time off state, you'll hear the same message sound and see a red message count notification on the envelope button, indicating you've received a new message, but the message will not automatically pop up. To review any messages during your shift, press the envelope button to bring up the messaging center, and then select a message to view the entire message. These messages will be deleted at the end of your shift. When it comes to the end of our shift, from the main driver screen, we'll select End Shift and enter the vehicle's current odometer reading. Our current meter readings will be transmitted back to the office, and a printed receipt will be provided which will give you all the information needed to verify the accuracy of your trip sheet. This includes the start readings, finish readings, as well as the calculated totals for your shift. We are now logged out, and the vehicle is ready for the next driver to log in and start their shift.